Hello, my name is Dan Stratford with C1 Partners here in Denver, Colorado, and we are interviewing today Bryan Schroeder, the owner of FasterHouse in St. Louis, Missouri. And FasterHouse focuses on helping people sell their houses quickly when they don't have the time or wherewithal to deal with all the hassles of selling with the real estate agent, real estate fees, and those types of things. So they buy houses at fair prices. They also help people who are looking to rent to own a home or to rent a home in the St. Louis area. And today, my question for Bryan is, Bryan, do you buy houses and find out later or during the process that people have passed away in the house?
Yeah, that actually happens quite a bit to us. I think part of the reason is a lot of people that when their parents pass away, they call us because they just want to sell the house as is, quick and easy. So we get that quite a bit. I can remember lots of times we've been in the house. Just tell you one recent story here. One time, not too long ago, I bought a house out in O'Fallon, Missouri. And the guy I bought the house was actually the brother of the person that owned the house. And when we were going through the house, he was just kind of showing me around. And when we walked into one of the bedrooms, he said, "Yeah, that's right there is where my brother died. He was sitting at that desk, and he had a heart attack, and he just passed away." I do hear that story quite a bit. They tell me right where they passed away, or right where they were found at.
When that happens, do you have to disclose that to the buyers?
No, there's nothing in any the seller's disclosures or any of the real estate bylaws that we have here in Missouri that require a disclosure for to sell or to tell anybody that somebody passed away in the house. And a lot of people pass away in houses. I don't think people think about it very often, but it definitely happens.
Sure. You had mentioned this story to me earlier where I guess sometimes you run into cases where people actually, I hate to say it, get murdered in a house.
Yeah.
Has that ever caused? Has that ever happened? And if that's happened, has that ever caused difficulty in selling the house?
Yeah, it has happened. It happens more often than you think. And when somebody gets murdered in the house, obviously somebody, their relatives have to sell the house still. So that does happen. One of the stories I was telling you about earlier is we had a house that kind of had I guess you would say, a high profile murder that happened in the house. It's kind of a gruesome story, but what happened was a lady that owned the house, her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend actually they took a samurai sword off the wall in her bedroom and stabbed her when she was sleeping. And it got it was a big murder case in town, and it got a lot of attention and stuff. And we ended up buying that house, and we fixed it up nice. And when we put it up for sale, the thing that's happening is when the potential buyers would go look at the house, the neighbors would come over and tell them that this is the house where the lady was stabbed with the samurai sword, and it would kind of freak people out a little bit. So we couldn't find anybody to buy the house, so we just rented it, and we bought the house quite a few years ago. We rented it for probably 5 or 6 years, and let some, just time pass and stuff, and put it up for sale about a year ago, and we did sell the house, and it went through a lot smoother the second time around. I think it was too fresh in everybody's mind, and it was a high profile one the first time around.
Sure. I guess the truth of my takeaway from these stories is probably a lot of houses that are bought and sold, someone passed away in, just because that's fairly common, and many people buy homes not realizing someone passed away in the house. So I guess that's just the reality of the world we live in. But I wouldn't want to know. Would you want to know?
That's to the point these days. I just prefer not to know.
Yeah. No. Sounds like you're saying that you prefer for not to know. Well, thanks for the gruesome stories. We'll cue these up, maybe rebroadcast them for next Halloween because we missed this year's Halloween. But those are great stories. Again, if you're looking to sell a house quickly, get in contact with FasterHouse in St. Louis. They offer fair prices. They're professional. They've been in the industry for quite a few years, so they're a very trustworthy company. Thanks a lot for your time today, Bryan. And until next time, we'll hopefully you'll have more fun, happy stories, and people have better luck over the next couple months. All right.
Thanks, Dave.